Before you scroll, listen carefully. Not every silence in your life means nothing is happening. Sometimes silence means something is being prepared. And maybe right now, that's exactly where you are. There was a phase in my life where everything looked normal from the outside, but inside, I was slowly breaking. No one could see it, no one could feel it, because I had learned how to hide it. I smiled in front of people, I laughed when needed, I acted like everything was okay. But the truth was, nothing was okay. I was tired. Not physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Tired of trying, tired of pretending, tired of feeling like I was not enough. And the worst part, no one knew. Because I never told anyone, I kept everything inside. Every pain, every disappointment, every fear. And when you keep everything inside, it doesn't disappear, it builds up, slowly, silently. Until one day, it becomes too much. And that day came. I remember sitting alone in complete silence. No phone, no distractions. Just me and my thoughts. And for the first time, I couldn't ignore it anymore. All the pain I had been hiding came rushing out. Memories, failures, rejections, everything. And I felt overwhelmed, like I was drowning in my own mind. I tried to distract myself. I tried to avoid it, but nothing worked. Because when it's inside you, you can't run from it. And that's when I realized something scary. I wasn't okay, not even close. And for the first time, I admitted it. I'm not okay. That moment was painful, but it was also honest. Because sometimes, healing doesn't start when you feel better. It starts when you accept that you're broken. And that's where my journey really began. Not when things got better, but when I stopped pretending they were. After that moment, everything felt different. Heavier, real. I couldn't go back to pretending anymore. Because now I knew the truth. And the truth was, I needed help. But I didn't know where to find it. I didn't trust people enough to open up. I didn't want to be judged. So I stayed silent. But inside I was searching. Searching for something, anything, that could make sense of what I was feeling. And that's when I started questioning everything. Why do I feel like this? Why does life feel so heavy? Why does it feel like I'm stuck, even when I try? Days passed like that, heavy, slow, confusing. And then one night, something changed. A thought came into my mind. What if this pain has a purpose? I paused, because I had never thought like that before. Pain with a purpose. It didn't make sense. But the thought stayed. What if this is not the end, but the beginning? And that idea gave me something small. Hope. Not big, not powerful, but enough. Enough to keep me going. And for the first time in a long time, I prayed. Jesus, if you are there, I don't understand my life. I don't understand this pain, but if there is a reason, show me. No miracle happened. No sudden change. Just silence. But this silence felt different. Calm. And something inside me shifted. The next day, nothing outside changed. But inside, there was a small light. And that light gave me strength. Just enough to keep going. And that's when I realized, you don't need everything to change overnight. You just need a small reason to not give up. And I had that. And slowly, that belief started growing. Even though life was still hard, I was becoming aware. Aware of my thoughts, my patterns, my pain. And that awareness started changing me. But then things got harder. Because once you stop running, everything you avoided comes back. Stronger. All the emotions I had buried started coming up. Old memories, past failures, everything. And it felt overwhelming. I told myself, this is healing. But it didn't feel like healing. It felt painful. There were days I couldn't handle it. Days my mind wouldn't stop. Days I felt empty. And that emptiness scared me, because I felt disconnected from myself. Like I existed, but I wasn't living. And that's when I hit my lowest point. Not when I cried, but when I felt nothing. And I realized something had to change, but I didn't know how. And then I broke. Completely. I was alone. And everything came out. All the pain, all the frustration. I cried like never before. And for the first time, I didn't stop it. And in that moment, I said, "Jesus, I can't do this anymore. I'm tired. I don't know what to do. I can't fix this." That moment, that was surrender. Not giving up on life, but giving up control. Because I had been trying to handle everything alone. And I couldn't anymore. And finally, I admitted it. I can't do this alone. And something powerful happened. A calm, a peace, a feeling, like I wasn't alone anymore. And for the first time, I felt relief. Not because my problems disappeared, but because I wasn't carrying them alone anymore. And that's when I understood something deep. Surrender is not weakness. It's strength, because it takes strength to admit you need help. And from that moment, everything started changing. Not instantly, but truly. I woke up lighter, calmer, clearer, and I stopped trying to control everything. I started trusting, and that trust, it gave me strength. Strength to move forward. Step by step. Slowly, life started shifting. Small changes. More peace. More clarity. More strength. And those small changes started adding up. Because real change doesn't happen all at once. It happens in moments. And I was finally moving. Not perfectly, but forward. And if you are listening right now, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like you can't handle it anymore, I want you to understand this. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to feel tired. Because your breaking point is not the end. It's the beginning. The beginning of healing. The beginning of change. And maybe this moment right now is where your new story begins. If you are still here, still listening, then you didn't give up when it got hard. And that says a lot about you. Because most people leave when things become silent. Most people quit when nothing seems to move. But you stayed. And now you're about to understand why that matters. After that moment of surrender, after I finally let go, after I admitted that I couldn't do it alone, I expected something to change immediately. I thought maybe life would suddenly get better. Maybe clarity would come. Maybe things would finally start working. But instead, everything became quiet. Not peaceful quiet, but stillness. No signs. No answers. No direction. Just silence. And at first it confused me. Because I had trusted. I had surrendered. I had let go. So why did it feel like nothing was happening? Days passed, and nothing changed. No breakthrough. No opportunity. No clear path. Just waiting. And waiting is one of the hardest phases in life. Because when you are struggling, at least you feel something. But when you are waiting, you feel stuck. Like life is paused. And that feeling started testing me again. My mind whispered, did anything really change? Was that moment even real? Are you just wasting time again? And slowly, doubt started coming back. Quietly, but strongly. Because doubt doesn't shout. It whispers, and I could feel it pulling me back. Back to fear. Back to overthinking. Back to confusion. And I won't lie. There were moments I almost gave up again. Moments I thought, maybe nothing will change. Maybe this is just how life is. Maybe I'm not meant for anything more. But then, something inside me reminded me. That moment, that surrender, that peace I felt. And I asked myself, was that real? And the answer was yes. It was real. So if that moment was real, then this silence must have a purpose too. And that thought changed everything. Because instead of fighting the silence, I accepted it. Instead of questioning everything, I trusted. And that's when I understood something powerful. Not every season is meant for action. Some seasons are meant for waiting, for growing, for preparing. And this was one of those seasons. A season where nothing looks like it's happening, but everything is happening inside you. And once I accepted that, the waiting didn't feel heavy anymore. The silence didn't feel empty anymore. It felt meaningful, like something was being built behind the scenes. And that gave me strength. Strength to stay. Strength to trust. Strength to not rush. And slowly, things started shifting. Small thoughts, new ideas, little opportunities. And this time, I noticed them because I wasn't rushing anymore. I wasn't forcing anything. I was simply following, step by step. And with each step, my confidence grew, not because everything was certain, but because I trusted the process. And that trust made all the difference. Because when you trust, you don't panic, you don't rush, you don't quit easily. You keep going, even when it's slow, even when it's unclear, even when it doesn't make sense. And that's exactly what I did. I kept going, quietly, patiently, faithfully. And then, it happened. The shift. Not loud, not dramatic, but real. Suddenly, things started aligning. Opportunities came. The right ones. People came. The right ones. Situations changed. And everything that once felt confusing started making sense. The path became clearer. The dots connected. And I realized something powerful. The silence was not empty. It was preparation. Because during that waiting, I was becoming ready. Ready for what was coming. Ready to handle it. Ready to keep it. And if it had come earlier, I wouldn't have been ready. I would have lost it. But now, I was different. Stronger. Calmer. Wiser. And because of that, everything that came into my life stayed. And then, life truly began to change. Not suddenly, but steadily. Opportunities turned into results. Effort turned into progress. And progress turned into success. I started doing things I once feared. Speaking up. Taking risks. Believing in myself. And for the first time, I felt confident. Not loud confidence, but quiet, unshakable confidence. The kind that says, I will be okay no matter what. And that confidence opened doors, real doors, opportunities that matched who I had become, people who respected me, situations that supported me, and everything felt aligned, like it was finally meant for me. And that's when I understood the biggest truth. Success is not what changes your life. Who you become is what changes everything. Because when you become strong, success follows. When you become clear, opportunities come. When you become peaceful, the right things stay. And if you are listening to this right now, feeling stuck, feeling like nothing is happening, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not stuck. You are being prepared. This silence, this waiting, this phase, it all has a purpose. And very soon, everything will start moving again. Faster, stronger, clearer. But for now, stay, trust, don't give up. Because what's coming next will make everything worth it. And when it finally happens, when your life transforms, you will look back at this moment and realize something powerful. This was the turning point. This was the moment everything began. This was the time you became stronger, wiser, better, and you will thank God, not just for the blessings, but for the struggles. Because without the struggles, you would not be who you are today. And now, you are ready. Ready for what's coming. Ready for the opportunities. Ready for the success. Ready for the life you once dreamed of. So don't give up. Not now. Not when you've come this far. Because your breakthrough is not coming someday. It's already on its way. And when it arrives, everything will make sense. Why you had to go through all this. Why you had to feel that pain. Because it led you here. To this version of you. The one who didn't quit. The one who kept going. The one who trusted God, even in silence. And that version of you is unstoppable. So keep moving forward. Keep believing. Keep trusting. Because the best part of your story is not behind you. It's ahead of you. And Jesus is walking with you every step of the way.